Hi, and welcome to the VOILA Method podcast, Solutions for the Mind, Body, and Soul with Joel Crandall, the creator and developer of the VOILA Method. The VOILA Method bridges the gap between the complex, making it simple, using an assessment and a treatment protocol that aligns the mind, the body, and the spirit. VOILA Method is more than a technique, it's a lifestyle to help you as a practitioner and your clients. And today's guest is Terri Arden out of Maine, which is in the upper northeast part of the United States. And she's a certified VOILA practitioner and wonderful massage therapist. Thank you for joining me today, Terri.
Hi, Joel. It's great to be here with you today.
Well, thanks for taking the time. My first question I always ask is, well, how did you hear about the VOILA method, but how also has it helped you personally?
Well, I first heard about the VOILA method when there was just a lot of buzz about this new technique that was available, and I had not heard anything, like I hadn't read anything. So I called you. I called you personally, and I had this great conversation about what your technique was and what you were offering and how this was different from other things. I thought about it for a day, called you again, and had this great conversation. And I said, this is what I've been looking for. I wasn't quite sure what was out there that was the next big thing I wanted to do, but it, when this all, was said and done, it was like, this is exactly what I was looking for when I didn't know what I was looking for. So word of mouth.
Oh, I think we froze up there for a second, Terri.
And that was just like beautiful. Oh,
Yeah, we froze up there for a quick second, so it could be just
sorry.
the connection there. Now, I believe too, when you came to the seminar for the first time in New Jersey, you had been suffering with Lyme disease. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I just had a fresh diagnosis of Lyme disease. So what I was able to do with the Voila method is balance my joints out that were hurting so much, and just struggling with that illness. It was really very helpful to have some personal tools that I could use daily, and I could use it multiple times a day in order to balance out my body to help support while I'm going through the Lyme treatment.
Perfect. Now, we did mention earlier that you are a wonderful massage therapist. How have you been able to synergistically use Voila with your massage clients?
Well, it works out really nicely to be able to do the Voila method while I have the person on the table. As I've learned the upper levels, there's a lot that can be done in this technique with distance work, so I can visually and mentally go through the body and see where it's got disruption and work it that way. But when I get a client that's open to having me get them balanced before they get on the table, it's when it works beautifully, because I know that they want to get on the table and get their massage, but the massage is so much different when their body has their equilibrium balance prior to getting on the table.
Exactly,
That's
exactly.
when I love it, when my clients will allow for that.
Well, we're having a little bit of an audio issue, so people may have missed that last part, but I believe you said that they just love your massages, but that goes without saying because you're a wonderful massage therapist.
Well, the massage feels better if they're balanced prior to. So I enjoy giving them the 15-minute voila balance and then get on the table.
Perfect. That works perfectly. So obviously that's changed your practice a little bit since you will do a quick balance before they get on the table. Has that been a bit of an adjustment for you or your clients?
A little bit of an adjustment for the client. I truly enjoy doing that because I know what benefit they're going to get out of it. It makes my work easier on my physical body. I don't have to work as deeply and go in and try to do like elbow work and do a lot of the deep stuff that kind of makes the muscles sore. I
Mm-hmm.
don't have to do that so much anymore. You get to do all of the yummy stuff that is so good for massage, and you don't have to work so hard on trying to chase a knot down.
Yeah, yeah. I just recently had a massage where they were trying to chase a knot down, and it was my spine, so it hurt pretty bad. But yeah, that's how I use it with massage too. Is I can also, because VOILA stands for vector of indication, I can ask the body, which way do you want this tissue to move? And a lot of times it's the opposite of what we've been taught in massage school.
That is so true. In massage school, you want the traps down and back, and you just don't want to ever bring them forward. But over and over again, I have found that the traps want to have a little bit of release forward, and then boom, they are just melted, and I don't have to do anything else to them. They're relaxed at that point.
That's what everybody is so surprised about with VOILA, and I recommend everybody to try it when they take the class, especially the first time you take the class. But you have that client, with that always that knot there in the levator scapula, and everybody likes to stick their elbow in there, their thumb, and dig that thing out. And I tell you in the class,
Yeah.
just balance the clavicle, and that will melt away. And everybody's like, yeah, 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 right. And then they go home and do it, and it works. There's no need to dig
Yeah.
out that big old levator knot there. Now you touched on something earlier that people may have missed, but you do distance work. So you also do Reiki.
Mm.
Can you explain to some people what is the difference and similarities between Reiki and VOILA?
Yes. So I've been a Reiki practitioner for 12 years. And so when I learned this technique, it made so much sense to me because the Voila method has the protocol for assessing what the body wants as priority. So what it does is it gives you the first thing you're going to do. So there might be 6 things that show up that are off in this body, but there's one of those things that you want to start with. In Reiki, I would put my hands on them and or move around their body and move energy and feel for energy and allow for that. I'm the conduit, so I'm allowing for that energy to come through into the body and let the body do its own healing. But with the Voila method, it actually has the assessment. I go to what the priority is, I just keep asking questions, ask the next question, work that priority piece, and then go back and check on those other things and see if there's anything left to work on, because sometimes the body just has a ton of static, and when the static goes away, you really come down to like maybe there's one thing that you're going to work on, maybe there's 2 things that you're going to work on, and you don't have to do all 6 things. So I really like the fact that we've got a protocol that assesses what the body wants. It prioritizes what the body is going to need first, second, third. And it can, both Reiki and Voila can be done from a distance. So you don't actually have to have the person right there. You do it as a surrogate, and you can assess their body even though they're not physically in front of you.
Perfect, Terry. Thank you so much for explaining that, because especially coming from a Reiki master in that. But also, too, is we want to talk about where the Voila method has a physical aspect to it and also has an energetic aspect, and it bridges the gap between the two. It makes it very, very easy and efficiency. And I love what you said about that, getting the static out of the way. And that's what makes you more efficient. So you can get to the core root of problems without wasting a lot of time on working on secondary things that really don't matter. Could you
Yeah.
give us one of your favorite stories with your clients? I know you've had many. Um,
A lot.
One that
Yes.
pops into my head is I believe you were working with someone in a car accident, and you sent me a picture of the car, and it was like pancaked. And it was so
Yeah.
scary to see that picture,
Yeah.
but the guy survived.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was a really interesting case, and it's still ongoing, which is so wonderful because the aspects that the body is going to reveal and want to have worked on next is its own priority. So I don't have to go in there and say, okay, now today we're just going to make sure all the back muscles are relaxed when that might not be what the body wants to do. So in that very first session, if I remember, it ended up working with the spine, but the end point. So it was C7, it was T12, it was L5, it was S5. Those endpoints on each spinal grouping were very significant for this person in their healing emotionally.
Mm.
So I wouldn't have known to do that had I not done an assessment in order to say, what does the body want to work on? Because, I'm not going to be that smart to figure that out. And I've not been taught any of that in school, but the body knows. And I love being able to ask the body what it wants. So we're not guessing.
That's beautifully put too, Terry, because yes, if you have ego in here and thinking, I know what the body wants and this is what I'm going to do, the body will fight you. But if you ask the body what it wants and you listen, it gives you all the answers, so you don't have to work very hard. And you alluded to this many times throughout this podcast, and I just want to reiterate it for everybody, is the body will tell you exactly what it wants when it wants it. So you might, like you said, like you might want maybe, these traps and we got to pull them back and down, but the body's saying, no, I want this first. And then you can do that.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I really appreciate that so much because I had a client come in. I see him maybe like once every 6 months, and he goes, "You must see some people that are really messed up." And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "How do you know where to start? Like when there's so many things that they have going on, how do you know what to do first?" And I said, "I just ask their body what they want. What does the body want to work on first? So it doesn't really matter how messed up they are when they come in. Always first. They always walk out feeling better."
Yeah, it's one of the stories I tell in the seminar where people will bring me an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper with all their list of ailments, and 15 minutes later, I'm like, okay, I'm done with that. What do you want to work on now? You know, that's the fun part. So obviously, you've been
Yeah,
really
for
using
sure.
Voila with as a standalone, but you also use it with your Reiki and also with your massage therapy.
Yeah. Yes. I
Now,
love incorporating it into everything. I mean, it's become my lifestyle. So I muscle test everything. I check to see um, like what route I'm supposed to take home. I muscle test what oil I'm going to use for people. I muscle test if this person needs the Voila method, if they need straight massage, if they've got like what the priority is. So is the priority their muscle grouping? Is the priority emotional, spiritual? I just must
mhm.
like maybe they want to have singing bowls. So maybe I would sing into their body, or maybe I would play a bowl for them.
Hmm.
All of that can be, ask the body, what does it want? And is this a priority? So if I'm also using essential oils, I know exactly which oil to use. And I'm not guessing like, oh, well, this is kind of for that kind of problem this person's having. It might not be what they want at all. So
Ex
I just muscle test to see what's the best use for them.
exactly. And that's what you're touching on there is, each essential oil has its own frequency to it, just as your singing bowls each have their own frequency too. So you can test what frequency that body needs for that spot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's perfect. That's perfect. Yeah. So we don't have to guess what frequency, we just get to ask. We're having a little bit just technical
Yeah.
difficulties with the audio and stuff every once in a while. So, um, what I want to say is, or ask you, what would you say to somebody that is thinking, or would you recommend taking the Voila Method seminar?
Oh, I think for a practitioner of any type, it would be so valuable to have this technique as a tool for them to be able to pull out and use whenever. I've oftentimes seen the benefit if there was a what do you call it, LCSW or psychiatrist. I could see that there could be some really valuable ways to use the voila method with their clients. As far as massage therapy, physical therapists, personal trainers, it doesn't, I mean, like every single person, we've got children that are learning this technique.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got some kids that are coming into the voila family, and the kids are doing it. It's not hard to learn, and it's something that is so valuable because you just integrate it into every single session. I mean, isn't it wonderful to know that you're asking the body what it wants first, and we're not just saying, let me just do this thing, because the body doesn't care about you doing that thing. The body cares about balancing out and let it do its work. The body will absolutely balance itself out when it has all of its it's almost like a Jenga puzzle. When all of the Jenga things are put back together, the body just goes, got it, and it just is so balanced and so happy.
Perfect. I'm glad you used the Jenga because I think you're the one that came up with it. And I just love that when you said that in the class because that's how I think of it. I think of it as one of those moving puzzles, and that's what Jenga is. And once you get everything back into balance, and we call it stacking, you have a nice firm structure now you can work from. Beautiful. Well, Terri, since the audio is going in and out,
Yeah, when you see those holes, okay.
yeah, the audio is going in and out. So, well, we're going to end it here. Thank you so much for taking the time out today and joining me for this podcast. What's the best way people can reach out to you, Terri?
Oh, probably the best way. My website is my first and last name, Terri Arden it's www.terriarden.com. So it's very easy.
Very easy. TerriArden.com. Perfect. Awesome, Terri. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.